Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back today with another daily crypto update. Today we're going to talk about the market that is finally bouncing and is this going to be sustainable? We're also going to go over some news and my normal schedule, which is Nano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, Neo, Vertcoin, Monero, Omise Go, Lisk, Cardano, and IOTA. All of those in a more detailed technical analysis in that order on TradingView in just a second. Other than that, make sure to check out my monthly cryptocurrency buying opportunities and my 5 high return cryptocurrencies. I'll have a link to my premium content in the description of this video. Also, make sure to go follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. Let's get right into what's going on with the general market now. And what we're seeing is Bitcoin, Ethereum, all bouncing, Ripple all around up 10%, Litecoin doing pretty good here as well. And some even doing better than that, right? Neo is bouncing quite a bit, up around 25%. Now, the key here is to realize that we're definitely not out of the woods yet, right? Despite this bounce, which is a very good sign, and it maybe means that we have put in a bottom in the short term, we just can't know for sure until we really break out of some downtrend lines and above some resistance levels to really be in the clear fully. Ideally want an increase like this to continue just a few more days, and that should put us back into basically a bit of a short-term uptrend, which is what we want, right? Other interesting ones to point out are Icon up 37%, very nice move there. And I wanted to go ahead and talk about some news as well, because this is kind of one of the reasons why the market is bouncing today, is that the CFTC chairman made a pretty bullish statement in front of Congress on crypto, and basically I'm not going to go over all the details of what he said, but he was basically pretty bullish and very open to cryptocurrencies, didn't want to suppress them in any kind of way, maybe regulate ICOs a little bit and making things a bit safer for the general public, but overall they want to do everything they can to help cryptocurrencies thrive, right? And that really helped with the market bounce, put back some optimism into crypto, which is a very good sign, and it's good to see that the US government isn't going to be taking a harsh stance on crypto. So a lot of people are happy about this, and hopefully this progresses as planned now. So let's go ahead and take a look at the technical analysis side of things, starting off with Rayblox. That's now Nano. And what we saw with Nano is, of course, that pretty harsh short-term downtrend with all the drama, the market dropping and everything, pushed us all the way back down to 107,000 Satoshis, and that's really where we put in our bottom for now, right, and where we found support. Currently, we actually managed to break back above the downtrend line, which is a very good sign. We're still not back above our previous uptrend line, which would be nice to get back above. Just going to be a little bit hard because we have quite a bit of resistance on that 156,000 Satoshi level, but definitely not impossible at this point. So we are pulling just a little bit now from where we're at the high today. But what matters is we're back above our 126,000 Satoshi support level. So now we're in this new little range over here. We may consolidate in this range a little bit longer. And really we're either going to be looking to losing that support level or getting back above that 156,000 Satoshi level, maybe even back above the uptrend line. And that would really put us in full bullish territory again. So just to recap, right now, it's a very good sign that we broke out of the downtrend line, and it's looking like we may have finally bottomed out. For now, consolidation is more likely than dropping lower at this point. So let's take a look at Bitcoin, right? Remember that Bitcoin and Ethereum do tend to lead the market, so a lot of cryptocurrencies just track their movement. And what we saw for Bitcoin was a very nice bounce off the uptrend line right over here, and this is a longer term uptrend line, right? I mentioned that in my previous daily crypto update, but it's a very logical area to bounce and find support on. So it would make sense at this point that here is where we bottom out and we end up moving higher from here. Definitely possible, would make sense. Everything is lined up correctly. We had a massive amount of buying volume on the testing of that uptrend line, which is a very good sign. It means that buyers did indeed support that price level, and we're now moving higher, right? We managed to test that uptrend line again, and currently we're kind of hanging on top of the uptrend line, maybe a little bit below it, the downtrend line. And that is a little bit concerning because if we see that we're starting to lose that again, we could face more downward pressure from that downtrend line and then maybe test that uptrend line again and lose it this time around, or at which point we'd sink much lower. The low that we put in was $5,873, by the way. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll know pretty quickly if we're going to start moving back lower or if we're going to manage to pop out of this downtrend line. And then I would say if we're able to recover the $7,950 support level, we should be good for at least some consolidation, right? And probably won't be going lower, or at least not losing the uptrend line support. So that's a good sign. We also popped back above that 30 line on the RSI, which is a bullish signal, especially if that manages to hold. So still have to keep an eye out. Like I said, we're not out of the woods just yet, so we can't be jumping of joy right away, but at least we're finally seeing some money come back into crypto and some good news, right, with what's going on with the CFTC. So Ethereum, very similar situation, got a very strong bounce off the longer term uptrend line. We can see that we actually dipped below it, but we managed to recover. The low was $555, which is a pretty nice area to bounce off of. And once again, it would make sense that this is the bottom here for the short term and that we're now ready to move back up. Indicators still downtrending though, so we would like to see that change. A lot of buying volume though on the bounce. And we made our way back above that $764 mark. We're currently dipping a little bit below that, so we want to make sure that that holds. If we manage to hold above that, good chance that we break out of the downtrend line and that we slowly but surely move back up to $917. So not looking too bad here, but we want to make sure that this isn't just, a short-term bounce that's very temporary, also known as a dead cat bounce in trading, where we just get that kind of random bounce very temporarily and then start moving back lower. So we want this to be confirmed that we're moving higher, and for that we just have to wait and see over the next couple days what will happen. Let's take a look now at Litecoin and see what Litecoin has been doing. So Litecoin managed to break back above the downtrend line, which is a very good sign, bounce kind of off that $100 mark again. And so that's actually a double bottom, right? Which is actually bullish because we didn't end up breaking below that $100 mark, which there was a pretty high likelihood that we did, but buyers came in, as you know, and that's a good sign, right? It means that we tested that $100 mark twice, and now we're moving higher, which means that buyers wanted to buy those price levels up, right? And there's support in those levels. So we didn't manage to really get back above $145. It would be a very good sign if we do. We'll probably consolidate in between $145 and $218 at that point. So that's what we're going to be looking towards as we move forward. I'm also going to point out that if you look at the Bollinger Bands, and especially that middle band, the brown line over here, we are starting to maybe flatten out a little bit, and that could be a sign that the dropping is done for now, basically, and that we're ready to at least consolidate, basically. We also are coming up a little bit on the RSI, which is always a good sign. Let's go ahead and take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Ripple. So let's see what Ripple is doing right now. And Ripple is, got a pretty small bounce, I'm going to say, off that 65 cent level, not back above 84 cents, which we do want to see happen if we want to get out of this downslope here for Ripple. We're still not anywhere near out of the downtrend line either. So still has a little bit ways to go compared to some of these other cryptocurrencies, but it does look like it's starting to flatten out, starting to stabilize in this area, which is already good, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at NEO. NEO is one of the cryptocurrencies that saw a really strong bounce today. So let's see what's going on with the charts. As you know, NEO has been one of the stronger cryptocurrencies overall with Ethereum throughout all of this and over the past couple of weeks. So not surprising that it's one of the cryptos that got a nice bounce here today. And indicators, maybe in the very short term here, we did actually break out of the downtrend line on the RSI. So that's an interesting sign. We'll see if that holds and everything. But more importantly, we got that bounce. We're back above one of those short-term downtrends that we had. And even made our way kind of back above $100, basically. So hopefully we hold above $100. If we end up dropping a little bit and we hold above that $85 mark, that's fine too. But at this point, we don't want to drop back below $85, I would say. If we do, that probably means that we're going to fall lower. If we manage to hold that, however, there's a good chance that we consolidate over the next week or two, and then finally manage to break out of the, these downtrend lines and these resistance lines and start moving back towards $139. Let's take a look at our next cryptocurrency, which is going to be Vertcoin. Vertcoin was definitely not, definitely didn't avoid the drop here and took a bit of a hit. Now bouncing nicely back above this very short-term steep downtrend. Pretty flat candlestick right now. Indicators on the RSI, we broke out of the downtrend line. That is a good sign. And we actually still have a bit of an uptrend going on on the histogram, as you know, we really want to break out of this downtrend line over here. I'm actually going to make this a little bit bigger, maybe even change the color, just so you get an idea that this downtrend line right over here, the one that I put in red, is the downtrend line that we really need to try to break above to basically get back into, you know, a bit of a bullish, basically get back some bullish momentum into Vertcoin, right? Because for now, it's been downtrending nonstop, and the fact that the market has been that bad has not helped it at all either. So hopefully it'll start to consolidate here and break out of that downtrend. Maybe it's time, you know, because it's so low now that it can even move pretty horizontally and break out of it. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's take a look at Monero now, and we're going to see what Monero has been doing. So Monero experiencing a pretty nice bounce here right off the downtrend line. That's where it's finding support, and currently trading back above $200, which is really what we wanted to see. Hopefully we'll start climbing back towards $257. Either way, I think we will be trading in that range as we move forward. And we're going to be looking for that RSI to cross back above the downtrend line, maybe the indicators to start coming back up as well. But we'll need some time here as well, I would say. And let's take a look at OmiseGO, see what OmiseGO has been up to. Overall, pretty similar, bounced off that $7 mark. Very strong bounce there, long lower wick, which means that buyers did indeed step in and support those support levels. As for the downtrend, we're still not out of that, and we didn't make our way back above this previous resistance level at around $12. So we definitely want to try to get back above those two things to at least consolidate and be a bit in a safer area, because if we don't get out of this downtrend line pretty quickly, we could fall lower, right, due to the downside pressure that it's putting on the price. And we also want to see the RSI get back above that 44 line. So that's also a pretty key resistance level as for gauging when we're back into bullish action for OmiseGO. Let's take a look at Lisk now. And what we're seeing with Lisk is a nice bounce off that $12 mark, now trading back above $17, which is a very good sign. And overall, now looking back, Lisk didn't even take that much of a hit compared to a lot of other cryptocurrencies out there, right? We're basically in the lower range of where we were previously. Ideally, we do want to get back above $20, and if we manage to do that, we're basically where we were consolidating previously. So nothing really bad to say about Lisk. That being said, we're still out of that short-term downtrend that we're in, but that's kind of normal considering that all cryptocurrencies are kind of experiencing that right now. Let's take a look at Cardano. Cardano has been an interesting one, kind of moving in different ways than the rest of the market. Now it did, of course, also experience a bit of a drop, and we do have this still this downtrend line right over here that's continuing. With that being said, it looks like it's really finding a bit of a base here in this 4,500 Satoshi area, and it's looking likely that we consolidate in here a little bit more. Hopefully we'll break back above this red line over here. That's the downtrend line that we want to try to break above and really get back above 5,125 Satoshis. If we manage to do that, basically back to where we were previously. Indicators not looking that bad either. Slowly but surely, maybe starting to flatten out on the MACD, and we're out of the downtrend line on the RSI, right? So definitely not looking bad here. Just looking like it's trying to consolidate a little bit more before getting back into action. And we're going to go over our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update, which is IOTA. Let's take a look at what IOTA has been up to. So back above $1.50, that's a pretty key level. As for the indicators, basically just trying to flatten out. Do have a little bit of an uptrend line on the histogram here in the making. And really I'd say what's important for IOTA now is I'm happy to see that it's back above $1.50. That's a pretty, key level just on the fact that it's a bit of a round number here between $1 and $2. So that tells me that we're probably not going to go back below that, and that we're either going to kind of consolidate in this area or slowly but surely move higher. We really want to try to get back, I would say, above $2, right? If we manage to do that, we'll be back above the uptrend line, and we'll have gotten above that $1.91 resistance level. So that should put us pretty much back into bullish action if we manage to do that, right? And with that being said, everyone, this is the end of the daily crypto update. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Make sure to check out my premium content and to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency market updates. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.